Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2019 State of the County Address hosted by the El Paso Chamber. Please rise for the presentation of colors by the El Paso County Challenge Academy Honor Guard and remain standing for the singing of the national anthem and Pledge of Allegiance. To perform the national anthem is Mr. Miguel Rios, United States Army veteran.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilightless gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in earth, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say the set stars bang, the banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America
and to
the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Please welcome the President and CEO of the El Paso Chamber, David Jerome. Mr. Jerome has led the Chamber since January 2018. Previous to this, his career has taken him all over the world, innovating and strengthening the sustainability and relevance for leading Fortune 100 companies. We're proud to have his experience and expertise working for El Paso.
Well, you know, I have to tell you, I do love this job. I'm very lucky. I get to invite really interesting people to speak, and they usually say yes. But that's actually not the point of what I'd like to say. We actually host events like this for you, our members. And for us, that's a very big deal. We want to make sure that you have a chance not just to connect with folks like our speaker today, our county judge, but also with each other. So what I'd encourage you to do is to grab a bite, reconnect with some friends, and maybe make some new ones, and we'll be back with the program shortly. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? My name is Carlos Keating. I'm a commercial insurance broker at Hub International, for those who do not know me, and I have the honor of being the 2019 chairman of the board for the El Paso Chamber. And on behalf of the Chamber Board, thank you so much for your attendance today and your contributions to the Chamber. Another honor that comes with being the board chair is I get to introduce Emma Schwartz to you all today. Emma's going to come up and say some things about the judge, but first I'd like to tell you a little bit about Emma for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure there's very few of you who don't know her. We'll start with congratulations. Emma was recently appointed by the governor to the Texas Higher Education Board. This is a tremendous honor and fantastic to have someone from El Paso on that board. So just wonderful. Those are just one of the few accomplishments, yes. Emma has founded and is the president of MCA, part of an all-important medical community here in El Paso. Her community involvement on various nonprofit and profit boards is endless. I could go through them all, but we'd be here quite some time. So I just wanted to go ahead and give you that information on Emma. She also received her BA in human biology with a concentration in comparative health policy from Stanford University and a master's in public health from the University of California, Los Angeles. In addition, Emma has 2 lovely daughters and is married to Doug Schwartz, who himself is a tremendous contributor to the community. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Emma Schwartz.
Well, good afternoon. It is a great honor for me to be here today to introduce Judge Samaniego. But I wanted to just start with complimenting this amazing venue. What a beautiful venue and a fantastic meal that we all get to enjoy today. So Ricardo Samaniego was sworn in as the El Paso County Judge on January 1st, 2019. He was born and raised in El Paso, Texas. Judge Samaniego is a proud graduate from Thomas and Jefferson High School and was recently named the 2019-2020 Thomas Jefferson Outstanding X. We are so proud to have the judge's alma mater, Jefferson High School, on the MCA campus. Judge Samaniego has graduate degrees from the University of Texas at El Paso, New Mexico State University, and also the University of Notre Dame, from which he received his master's degree in international economics and public policy. Before taking public office, Judge Samaniego worked in both the public and private sectors. His professional background is all-encompassing, as he has experience as a human resources consultant, a clinical therapist, and as a teacher. Currently, Judge Samaniego owns 3 sports clip franchises in El Paso, with one of his stores being in the top 5% of 1,900 US and Canadian sports clip stores. Judge Samaniego takes pride in his family's roots, as they have a long record of public service here in El Paso, the community that they all love and call home. As your county judge, he is committed to working on initiatives related to mental health, veteran services, county infrastructure, economic development, and most importantly, community outreach. We are so very fortunate to have you, Judge Samaniego, leading El Paso County in all of these great and important efforts. I want to thank you for your partnership with the MCA and your support of all our various activities and programs. And now to the main event. Please help me welcome Judge Ricardo Samaniego to present his first State of the County address.
Emma, thank you for those kind words. Emma is a big part. You know, the Medical Center, the Americas Foundation is a big part, and you'll begin to see the importance of how this puzzle is all coming together. I really appreciate, obviously, that you're all here. But before we start, and I'll let you know a little bit something else I'd like for you guys to be part of. Before we begin, we would like for us to reflect on the lives and memory of the 22 souls lost in the senseless attack on our loving community on August the 3rd, and also very dear to my heart, Sheriff Deputy Pete Herrera, who tragically lost his life this year in the line of duty. Pete Herrera was the first person that led into the challenges of my career. To this day, from that day that he died, I've been wearing his pin, and in honor of him. Let us also reflect on the sacrifices and selfless efforts of our highly respected law enforcement, specifically, that's part of the act, okay? So just stay with me, stay with me. Specifically, and that was a drum roll, Sheriff Wiles and all his deputies, Chief Jorge Rodriguez, his team at the Office of Emergency Management, Chief of Police Greg Ellen and his officers, and all our unsung heroes who have been on the front lines since the attack and continue to work tirelessly to keep our community safe. Let's have a moment of silence as we view the names of the fallen brothers and sisters. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope I can gain my composure, but I just heard the news of one of the giants of the Democratic Party, the giants of the political world, and a giant of ethics and values in our community. Enrique Moreno just passed this morning. Enrique, what an incredible man he was. I feel like he is. He introduced me at most of my functions, was there at my, my first, the invocation, and I'm gonna miss him dearly, and I know there's a lot of people here in the audience that feel the same way. I think he touched so many hearts. At first I felt maybe I shouldn't have heard this news, but you know what? I wouldn't have had the opportunity in front of this great audience and great people of our community to be able to honor him. So now, please, a moment for silence for the people that passed, those 22 people, our police officers, and thank you for that. Thank you very much. And I don't think that we should ever start any event going forward without remembering our beautiful people that lost their lives on August the 3rd. Pablo Salazar and Jose Pepe Sandoval, would you please stand? I just want you to recognize them first, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. And so thank you both. And let me tell you a little bit about that. Pablo Salazar, you may sit down, Pablo and Pepe. Pablo Salazar, a very, very dear friend and an engineer that I met in the Maquiladora days in the 80s. Pablo recently introduced me to Jose Sandoval, an amazing guitarist with a strong musical family background that played either with or alongside people like Frank Sinatra Jr., Sonny and Cher, B.B. King, Norm Crosby, and many others. Not knowing that these facts Pablo was going to be telling me, he asked me to hear a song that Pepe had composed to assist with the healing process, not only the August 3rd victims, but the entire El Paso Juarez community. And I want to believe that we're all in a healing process, and so I love the fact that he is approaching it to all of us. The singers are people from our community who are not professionals, but like all of us, individuals who echo our own restlessness to help ease our own emotional pain and help us all become greater than we were prior to our heartfelt tragedy. I can tell you that coincidentally, when the music was playing and the melody was playing, I got this sort of allergy in my eyes, and so now I want to share this experience with all of you as well.
Someone came into our city
and caused so much harm and pain,
with a heart filled with hatred and destruction.
Many lives
innocent in the color of their skin.
And I know that with our differences united,
we'll destroy any atrocity.
love lives in this city.
We will throw away what's wrong.
With a merciful, helping hand of God,
we become El Paso strong. El Paso strong. Somos la fuerza del Paso. El Paso strong. Tenemos la fuerza y el poder. El Paso strong. Unidos en paz y en amor. El Paso strong. Juntos podremos vencer.
Si volvemos a caer, nos levantamos otra vez. Tu desgracia será mía,
Lo que tenga te daré. En mi mano hay bondad.
y está mi corazón, y también encontrarás todo el amor de Dios.
El Paso strong. Somos la fuerza del Paso. El Paso strong. Tenemos la fuerza y el poder. El Paso strong. Unidos en paz y en amor. El Paso strong. Juntos podremos vencer. El Paso strong. El Paso strong. El Paso strong.
What do you think? Let's give them a standing ovation. That's a lot of work. Please stand up and thank you. Thank you, Pablo and Jose. I am confident that the unveiling of this song will resonate with our feelings and help us continue on our individual healing path. This group that refers to themselves as La Bohemia are requesting for people to download the song on the internet and make a donation that will go directly to the victims of this tragedy. I will be talking to Mr. Pearson to make it part of the foundation so that everybody feels comfortable where the money is going, and they're very generous to do that. So thank you very much, Pablo, Jose, thank you for being here today. In addition to all the efforts that have taken place and to help our region stay united and have access to vital resources in their healing process, the county is proud to be working with several partners to provide the El Paso United Community Assistance Center. You're going to hear this quite a bit because this is something that happened at other cities that face the same tragedies, that they were able to continue and find a mechanism to help people go forward. This center will provide access to various forms of assistance to the community that may be needed as they continue to recover from the August 3rd tragedy. The center is a partnership of the state of Texas, who is providing funding to the City of El Paso, Office of Emergency Management, United Way of El Paso, and the county. The center will be located at the County Family Youth Services Center on Delta Drive. The services are available to every member of the community. And that means all of you and people that you recognize that are going through some difficult time, this is the place for all of us. Irene Valenzuela, director of the county's Behavioral Support Center, and her team are in the adjacent building and ready and willing to provide additional help. So I too want to thank David Jerome, President and CEO of El Paso Chamber, Carlos Keating. Both have become great friends. He's the chairman of the El Paso Chamber Board of Directors and their staff, led by Minda Villarreal, for organizing events such as this one in order to keep the community at large informed and engaged in making our local government what it is today. I strongly believe that well-informed constituents is the basis of transparent and effective government. One of the many requests that I had for the Chamber was to ensure that the honorable people that came today also included a large number of individuals who had not attended a State of the County address. I believe we are headed in the right direction. Having access and people participate is really important to what the county is trying to accomplish. I would like to thank the members of my family, and especially my two children, Elisa and Andre, my brother Sal, who I always pay tribute to his wife, Romy Samaniego, a beautiful person, that biggest volunteer I had that lost her life a week prior to my election. Elisa and Andre are representing their siblings who were not able to make it today. The majority of my children do not live in El Paso, and I have my fingers crossed that my son Michael will return to El Paso as soon as he completes his law degree. I'm working attentively, and I know we all are, not only for myself, but for all the parents who yearn for their children to stay or come back or want to come back to our beautiful community. Thank you, Teresa Rockwell, Executive Director of Progress 321, and your board for working so vigorously on this very same initiative. I look forward to your welcome back event during the latest part of this month. As for my political path, which I guess a lot of people are wondering how I'm feeling, it has been an amazing, privileged journey thus far. I am grateful for my gang of two, Celeste Varela and Nicole Reese, who have been entrenched in every aspect of my learning curve. They thoughtfully helped me through every step and afforded me such much needed stability when my political training wheels, and I mean that seriously, I really had on training wheels, but on August the 3rd, 2019, they quickly came off. Someone said I had been politically baptized by fire during that fateful month, and I am inclined to agree. Indeed, I am in a much better place thanks to Celeste and Nicole. Thank you both. I want to thank them as well for their leadership in an array of county initiatives that I know you'll be seeing and have seen already. I have so many newfound friends, and in my effort to be a collaborator and be able to be supportive, I've got a lot of friends that I knew and a lot of friends that I've met. People like Deb Zuluaga from United Way, Eric Pearson, CEO of the El Paso Community Foundation, Tracy Yellen, CEO of the El Paso del Norte Community Foundation, people like Jaime Esparza, our district attorney, have all been critical partners to the county. Most of all, Joanne Bernal, our fearless county attorney, and Cristina Sanchez, her assistant county attorney, have helped to guide me every step of the way since day one. I really cannot thank them enough, and as they say in the Oscars, if I inadvertently misrecognizing any one of you that should have been recognized, I'll apologize tomorrow. It is a true privilege to work alongside committed, hardworking public servants who advocate for not only their respective precincts, but for our community at large every single day. Commissioners Leon, Stout, Perez, and Robinson, I thank you for the dedication and compassion you have displayed to our constituency. Your leadership and professionalism are commendable. I look forward to continue to work together, building on our solidly established foundation that will afford us the opportunity to expeditiously and effectively advance the initiatives that our remarkable community deserve. I thank their entire staff as well for their solidarity, support, and genuine concern for the success of the entire Commissioner's Court. Josie, Maela, Lisette, pardon me, Carl with a K, I've got Joaquin and George, and I hope I didn't miss anybody. I hope I didn't. Let me see in my mind. Well, they are really supportive of everything that we do and continue to move the vision together. And as you'll see going forward, we're not alone in trying to make things happen. Yet, in everything that we do, for all the initiatives the court brings forth, no success would be possible without the work of our Chief Administrator, Betsy Keller, and her passionate department heads. Ms. Keller and her team of dedicated professionals share the court's commitment to wholeheartedly serve the entire El Paso County. Betsy and her team work vigorously to ensure that our too often forgotten corner of Texas is a shining star not only for the region, but as I will demonstrate in my presentation, in the entire country. The combination of innovation and cost consciousness, I tell you, and I believe that strongly, is a rare trait. But I can honestly tell you that the county's administrative team possesses both. Could all of our amazing county employees at this time please stand and be recognized? Thank you very much. So here we are, in one of the most iconic and historical buildings of our community. What do you think? For those of you, young or old, that walked through that memory place, I can tell you everything that was done here was done for this purpose. And so walking through that memory lane, I sure hope brings you a lot of great feelings. I know some of the commissioners and myself were a little surprised at the small pictures that we have of ourselves here. I'll blame Brian. That was all Brian, okay? We didn't do that. I was thinking of maybe putting it up by the star, our pictures. So thank you, Brian Kennedy, CEO of the El Paso Sports Commission / Coliseum. And his enthusiastic team for working so hard to create a beautiful space for us to gather today. When you ask anything of Brian Kennedy, which by the way, I'm going to steal his name when I run for office again or something, like Ricardo Samaniego, Brian Kennedy. I mean, come on. He just took that incredible name. He actually got a law degree recently just to do justice to that incredible name. The facility here, lovingly referred to as the barn, as you can see, gone a long ways, first opened its doors May 21st, 1942. Originally built to support rodeo livestock shows, it quickly expanded its operations to include concerts and other community events, like this one. One particular event close to my heart, and you'll be hearing this quite often today, the Jefferson High School Mardi Gras that celebrated its 70th anniversary just recently, a couple of months ago. And I can tell you, my father worked at the Popular Dry Goods store for 45 years, and as a family, we couldn't wait to attend the company's annual gathering here in the same, very, very same place where all of you are sitting here. And thanks to the generosity of Mauricio, Schwartz, and family. He was very generous to all of the employees and had incredible things that people way ahead. I was told by Brian Kennedy that our Coliseum has become a rite of passage for decades for the up-and-coming musical stars that you were able to see, including people like Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, James Brown, Selena, Jackson 5, and so many others. I believe this is a venue, and I hope everybody understands that does not compete but enhances all other venues. As you were aware, we just begun our 2019-2020 fiscal year, and I have to tell you, my first budget season, it almost sounds like football season, but my first budget season was a rough one since it coincided from day one with a tragedy that took place August the 3rd. It was challenging for us to be in these budget sessions knowing that our community was hurting, but we had to go through it. A special thanks to Wally Hargrove, our budget director, and his team for keeping us on track through the budget process. Thank you very much. For the first time in 4 years, we faced the unfortunate yet necessary reality that oftentimes comes with the operation of government entities, and that is raising taxes. Please hold your applause. But in the wake of that tax increase, I want to share with you the community, the remarkable progress your county has made and continues to build on. I know it never justifies that, but I always want to let you know that we are very fiscal responsible, and we don't do things for the sake of doing things, but because we really feel and have put a lot of energy, thought, and thoughtfulness to it. The county has committed itself to be innovative and forward-thinking. We have made it our mission to provide critical services to the community, which includes in our public safety, infrastructure, roads and bridges, as well as administration of justice and law enforcement, to further our values, ensure a stable future for El Paso County residents. We're not in any way giving up the idea with people like Sheriff Wiles and people like Pete Ferroni, who's the president of the association, and our police department, and the relationship with all the agencies. We will continue to be one of the safest cities in the country. I am proud to share some of the accomplishments achieved by our departments and our vital judiciary arm. I'm aware that your time is limited, hence I thank you in advance for allowing me to move swiftly through my presentation, yet knowing that the following are simple brushstrokes of the county's major initiatives. I would like to boast on some of the recognitions received by our departments this year. Purchasing. Last month, thanks to the hard work and dedication of our purchasing agent, Deborah Carrejo, and her team, the County of El Paso was awarded the 2019 Achievement of Excellence in Procurement from the National Procurement Institute. This prestigious national award is in its 24th year, and only 200 public agencies were successful in obtaining this coveted nationwide recognition. Thank you, Deborah. In August, the county's economic development team welcomed a new director, Ms. Andrea Atkins Hutchins. Ms. Hutchins brings to the county more than 15 years of senior-level marketing and public affairs experience. Her career has taken her to the office of the Secretary of the Army, various Fortune 500 companies, and most recently, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. We are pleased to welcome her as the newest member of the county family. Thank you. An important economic development project the team is working on is a healthy food financing initiative. The findings of a report released early in 2018 show that many communities in the outlying areas of El Paso lacked basic healthy food. Through Commissioner Stout's advocacy and the department's work towards implementation, the program will result in strengthening local food systems, creating jobs, and improving the health of our community residents. Susan Goodell, CEO of the El Paso Fighting Hunger, for example, is very interested in this grant to provide storefront health-challenged individuals who can't afford the type of menus prescribed by their doctors that's necessary to address their healthy issues. You know, when we go to the doctor and we're asked to eat certain foods, and you know, a lot of our people don't have that opportunity, so I'm really looking forward to supporting that as we move forward. Last month, as a result of the collaboration between this one, really, I believe you're going to really enjoy and feel proud and be part of this accomplishment. As a result of a collaboration between our Economic Development Department and Spectrum Reach Advertising, the county was awarded the prestigious National Telly Award for excellence, this is going to sound like the Grammys, okay? For excellence in video and television for promotional videos whose purpose is to attract new business and promote the community's rich culture, quality of life. Over 12,000 entries from 50 states and 5 continents were submitted, and winners represent some of the most respected media and advertising outlets in the field. A heartfelt congratulation goes out to them for the hard work that led to this recognition. Please turn your attention to the screens to watch the video.
El Paso goes by many names. Sun City, 915. We are known for history, culture, food, and art. In the early 1900s, development and commerce in El Paso revolved around mining and trade. The nationally recognized mission trails are just one example of the many historic sites that portray our region's rich indigenous and colonial history. Since then, El Paso has evolved, and so has its people. We take great pride in nourishing a skilled and capable workforce, with 72% of our population being bilingual. We stay competitive among other large U.S. cities. The region's border location boasts a major trade port. It allows competitive local manufacturers to produce at maximum capacity. Fleet systems are capable of worldwide distribution of parts and products. Our state-of-the-art higher education systems are nationally recognized. The Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center El Paso, the nation's first comprehensive health sciences institution on the U.S.-Mexico border, provides students the opportunities to become doctors, nurses, and researchers. The University of Texas at El Paso offers 74 bachelor's, 74 master's, and 22 doctoral programs. Local government agencies and other economic development organizations help industries become established and expand in our community. The County of El Paso is great for business, but we also keep true to our southern hospitality with plenty of outdoor recreation options. It's easy to keep active in El Paso. We are constantly looking for new industries interested in expansion. We want to offer our help and support in the process. No matter the name, El Paso is proud, strong, progressive. We are El Paso. Come see what we can do together.
You know, we've always tried to capture who we are, and I think that's an incredible, when we meet with companies that are coming in, we try to talk to them about this incredible workforce and the incredible people. Sometimes it's difficult for them to understand, and I always tell them, you're gonna have to come in, because to know us is to love us, and so that's part of the deal, and so I think this captures this extremely well. Public Works, obviously a big part of the county, sort of separates a lot of things that other people do. And very proud, had the opportunity to go, you know, with Stanley Job on a helicopter where he took me every little place that I could think of. And you know, the business-minded kind of person that he is. I asked him, you know, I was trying to break the business cycle thinking, and I said, what do you think of the Cowboys? And he said, you know how much concrete went into that facility? So right back to business. So our Public Works Department, headed by Norma Rivera Palacios, also a Jeffersonian, has a team of amazing directors who in their individual fields and with their particular talents elevate efforts towards superior services and enhanced quality of life initiatives. The following are some of the areas that she supervises. Very proud, and I'm sure that you guys have seen the Parks and Recreation. Veronica Myers, our Parks and Recreation Director, and her team work in creative unison in beautifying our parks and creating safe and fun spaces for the residents of El Paso to enjoy. In April, the county was awarded the maximum amount of $1 million in matching funds from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department to build 3 all-inclusive playgrounds. I'm trying to push a name for Escarate, so just, it's not legal or anything, but just keep it in mind. Escarate Park Meadows, it's got a good ring to it, you gotta admit. Rissinger Park in Fabens and Gallegos Park in Canotillo. Moms on Board, what an amazing organization, will also be providing $750,000 in-kind contributions toward this effort. We can't thank them enough for their advocacy for El Paso families. By the way, if you're interested in joining or helping Mothers on Board in reaching some of their goals, which you'll be fascinated, please contact them via their Facebook page. In May, the county was awarded $400,000, also from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, and also the maximum amount for the San Felipe Park off-highway vehicle trails in Fabens. This project will include 10 new miles of off-highway vehicle trail, a youth riders trail, new ADA-compliant restrooms, picnic shelters, signage, and fencing. We continue to grow our partnership with UTEP, this time at Escarate Park Meadows, in collaboration with Dr. Ivan Santiago's engineering students. 2 floating islands with selected plants are now on the west cove of Escarate Meadows Lake. The floating islands are a way to naturally reduce concentrations of nitrate and phosphate as a way to control algae. We feel confident that the partnerships will lead to having more water-related activities throughout the year. I think we're still amazed that, you know, a river walk doesn't have to be straight. It could be around the lake. And so I think you're going to find that there's so many things and so much traction that is taking place at Escarate Meadows that you will begin to see and appreciate this central park of El Paso, who's been a neighborhood park for so many years. Over the other side of the park, Escarate Meadows Golf Course, lots of compliments from golfers. Improvements made throughout the year have resulted in increased participation and revenue and an overall golfer experience. The El Paso County Sports Park has also seen continued progress with new and improved amenities and updated policies and procedures, all resulting in a little over $74,000 in increased revenue compared to the previous year. We are so proud of our Parks and Recreation team and cannot overlook the work of Commissioner Leon has done to improve the experience of El Paso families at this park. Commissioner Leon was able to break the paradigm that prohibiting alcohol would decrease participation, and I can understand that paradigm. It is now one of the premier regional sports venues, and yes, without alcohol involved. Big part of us, you know, a lot of people didn't think that we would be able to overcome that. Well, so many people are trying to bring in alcohol. We were trying to get them out of our parks, so that was a big, bold step. Planning and Development has been obviously one of our other stars. The County Planning and Development Department has made significant strides. Aside from deploying upgraded technology and policies, their initiatives have resulted in increased productivity and decreased wait times for those departments it serves. Planning and Development has established a 5-year capital improvement program related specifically to increasing neighborhood illumination for unincorporated urbanized areas, has completed stakeholders outreach with our rural municipalities for the expansion of the regional transit service, and for the first time initiated a variety of planning initiatives, including the development, very proud of this, none other than your Fabens Airport. The success of these rural projects of this caliber will ultimately contribute to the city's and the county's mutual economic development goals. Working from the outside in will surely expedite our quality of life initiatives. As we see the beautiful downtown, all the things that are happening, we also have to come from the outside in And I think that will really, really expedite what we're trying to accomplish in a more expedient manner. We are very proud of the Fabens Airport Comprehensive Land Use and Zoning Study. This is a first of its kind in El Paso County and will provide a roadmap for the organization to implement zoning laws around the county airport, providing for future growth and expansion of the facility, which includes enhancing the airport business development plan. You all know what happened to the Horizon Airport. It sort of got eaten by the residents and the growth, and I think this is too valuable for us. We don't want that to happen again. I'm so encouraged by the commitment and the shared vision of the county and our partners have for our once neglected Fabens Airport. Thank you to Dr. Hassan Shudari, who had the vision of bringing forth the quality of education UTEP offers to the community by expanding STEM education, technology research in the area, and to TxDOT, the Camino Real Mobility Authority, and others. Yes, it takes a village, and they have been truly committed to our combined success. The county received $1 million in funding through the TxDOT Aviation Capital Improvement Program, providing funding for the rehabilitation of the major runways and taxiways, installation of security perimeter fence, and controlled access entrance gate. Enhancement to the airport's entrance and design of hangars for future construction are made possible by these critical partnerships, and when complete, the design work will provide the county with shovel-ready plans to expand the hangar space and increase activity at the airport. So one of the very important things that is happening is that I was concerned that either an airport or a research facility and that one would be competing, and I think we've all agreed that the two of them will be done at the same time. I find our new UTEP president, Dr. Heather Wilson, to be as excited about this progressive partnership as the enthusiasm Dr. Natalicio expressed to me. The baton will surely be passed seamlessly. In order to get a good first glance of the improvements, I would like for you to make every effort to attend the West Texas Breast Cancer Awareness Fly-In event on Sunday, October the 27th, from mariachis, ballet folklorico, to an array of planes that will fly in to honor Breast Cancer Awareness Month. My heartfelt thanks to Daniel Bárcena, who has tirelessly worked with Public Works on this multiple facet initiative, where we've got people coming in, people getting to know us, but if you could go there and see what's happening at our airport, it'll just be the beginning of some great things. Transportation. Work continues on the County Comprehensive Mobility Plan, which is the county's first venture and long-range transportation planning. Two such projects, the Greg Edgemere roadway construction extension and the Vista del Sol reconstruction project, are the successful products of crucial partnerships that allow us to modernize county roadways with simultaneously addressing traffic congestion for both inside of El Paso and the county. As you'll begin to see that as a county and the city work together in these areas, you'll be able to see the caliber and the type of work that we do that is at the level of any TxDOT project. The additional benefits of Greg Edgemere extension, thanks to the forward-thinking employees in our Public Works Department and our partners in the private sector, for further investments in additional roadway projects, as well as increased coordination with El Paso Water, positioning ourselves for the future wastewater service project in Montana Vista. Our partnership with the Camino Real Mobility Authority has yielded some amazing result in relation to the Vista del Sol reconstruction project. A simple 2-lane roadway was reconstructed in a modern 4-lane divided roadway with raised landscape medians, sidewalks, hike and bike trails, illumination, and has also presented the opportunity to address the ongoing issue of stormwater management. TxDOT has been just an incredible partner for me. They meet almost every other week to get me up to speed. When we talk about drinking out of the fire hose, transportation is one of those. One of the many critical issues, and I'll talk now about infrastructure. One of the many critical issues we continually face in the unincorporated areas of the county is flooding. And it doesn't take a 100-year storm to cause severe devastation. At times, only a typical monsoon season rainstorm will result in catastrophic damage and loss. This year, your Commissioners Court made an additional $3 million investment in stormwater funding, bringing the county's total allocation to just over $10 million. A portion of that funding has been allocated to purchase 14 vehicles and trailers delivered over the past 12 months and used in daily operations for numerous projects throughout the county, including stormwater response. Your county government is committed to working closely with rural municipalities to find sensible, long-term solutions to the issues around water drainage and flooding. Our partnership with our extraordinary municipal mayors has been one of the most comprehensive and most strategic efforts to ensure a unified approach toward our county's challenges and opportunities. We have been meeting with the county rural mayors for, I think, before I even was official, because I felt that strength of having everybody working on the same issues was going to be very powerful, and it has been extremely rewarding. While we talk about modernizing the country's roadways and we address our challenges in stormwater management, we also address long-standing issues that some of our county residents must deal with year after year. It is, in fact, unfortunate that there are still families living in the unincorporated areas of the county who do not yet have access to running water or wastewater services. Therefore, we work diligently with state and federal agencies as well as local partners to have multiple water and wastewater projects in the works. I previously mentioned the upcoming Montana Vista wastewater project. Another of these with particular significance to our residents is the first-time wastewater collection system within the Desert Acceptance Project located in the eastern area of El Paso County. We have applied and received grants and loan funding totaling a little over $6.5 million from the U.S. Department of Agricultural Rural Development, which will provide the county the ability to finance construction for the very first county-maintained wastewater system, affording service to approximately 250 families in the colonias. You know, before we couldn't get companies to come in because of so many other factors, the cultural, the entertainments, all the education, and we've gotten that pretty much taken care of. Great things are happening in our schools, great cultural events, but now we have to take care of the infrastructure because people that come in want to know how we treat everybody, every single person in our community. And I know there's no one sitting here that would want to continue with people not having the proper services. Criminal justice coordination, this has got to be, and you'll see when I talk about this, what's been happening. I am proud of our county staff for multiple reasons, but the work done in the area of criminal justice coordination department is revolutionary, and I do mean revolutionary. In collaboration with numerous local nonprofit agencies, the county has a conscientious, systematic approach toward one of the most robust justice reform initiatives in the country, effectively targeting services to those who need them the most and which could have a dramatic impact on reducing those returning to jail and chronically using local resources. For the very first time, through research sponsored by the Criminal Justice Coordination Department, El Paso County was able to identify high utilizers of the county detention facility. Based on this research, a strategic initiative was developed to match this population with medical, homelessness, and mental health matters. This research facilitates the opportunity for providing targeted support services to defendants with repeated jail usage. El Paso County became one of the few counties in the United States to locally validate research on pretrial defendants and design strategies to improve front-end pretrial justice practices. This is especially significant in light of the intense bail reform litigation occurring around the nation, specifically here in Texas. To date, over 11,000 risk assessments were provided to the courts on individual defendants, accompanied by critical data for judges or magistrates in order to consider in determining pretrial release conditions. The one-year recidivism rates for defendants released on public reconnaissance bonds has declined, and concurrently, PR bond releases are increasing. The statistics are staggering and very encouraging. This is a challenging work, but the results thus far reflect the impact of many pretrial improvements. Earlier, I spoke about how critical the county's partnerships are in order to advance our priorities. Another example is a recent work of the Judicial Management Project. As a result of the collective work done in an effort to improve the county's web presence, this year, the expanded Judicial Management Report was awarded, and you've heard a lot of the national one more, the National Achievement Award for the National Association of Counties. This humanitarian type award honors innovative, effective county government programs that strengthen services and that create new ways to interface with those we serve. Thank you to Joel Bishop, Executive Director of Criminal Justice and Community Support, and his incredible team for taking the lead on this. The collective work by your commissioners, court, more specifically Commissioner Perez, along with so many internal and external stakeholders such as county and court administration, information technology, district and county clerks, the district attorney and public defenders, Emergence Health Network, and the Sheriff's Office. Of course, it's hard to have anything without that strength of Richard Wiles and what he does, have made it possible for El Paso's to move the needle on progress toward a more effectively run criminal justice operation. One of these critical stakeholders whose input and perspectives were invaluable in the process is our Council of Judges Administration. This group of dedicated members of the judiciary continue to be the key to the county's success in this endeavor. My heartfelt thanks to the Council of Judges led by Judge Chu and Judge Morales. I'd like to have a recognition for them. We have created an incredible relationship where the judiciary arm, and what the county does has become one by itself. We work together, very collaborative. Thank you to both Amy and Michael. I also need to emphasize that we have two amazing nationally recognized specialty courts, the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court Program with Judge Burrill, 65th District Court, with 100 graduates since 2014, and also the DWI Intervention and Treatment Program with Judge Anchondo's County Criminal Court, who will be celebrating their 15th anniversary this November 15, 2019, and have had 504 participants graduate. By the way, both are Jefferson graduates. By the way. These two courts selflessly perform regular court duties. Most people don't understand this. They perform their regular court duties on top of these interventions. They not only contribute directly toward the participants' well-being, but generously help the reintegration. One of the most important things that happens is that we serve the individual and not the family. And so when you bring the individual back to the family, you're at the same place. So both of them have done an incredible job of working holistically with the family. And I can ask you, if you happen, and I'm sure you, not the people here, maintain any doubt that people's lives can't change, I want you to attend one of their graduations. I can tell you, your heartstrings will be tugged really hard. You cannot go there without understanding what happens when somebody loses a child or a youth or a veteran that has served our community, and you lose them. And when you bring them back and the people are there receiving them back, you just no tienen que ver ninguna novela para ver lo que ven allí. Information technology. You know, very difficult to live without this department. Very proud. Our IT department, headed by Christopher Stathis and his team of technology wizards, create a seamless way of allowing us to accomplish an organizational goals from cybersecurity to technology modernization. ITD is an incredible partner to our departments for the critical service, which is the most important thing of what we deliver to our residents. Working with the county tax assessors, collectors, enforcement division, ITD designed and developed new curbstoning web application which accelerates manual processes previously performed at the tax office with a focus to reduce overhead and increase productivity. The county clerk's office worked closely with IT department to upgrade their e-recording application, allowing more effective communication with the public, which is always so important, and I emphasize, with the public who utilizes the system. Our fleet operations, while your county team continues to look for ways to be progressive and innovative in the realm of technology, it also strives to be environmentally responsible by reducing its carbon emission footprint, thereby providing a better quality of life to its residents. Over the past 12 months, our fleet operations has procured 2 compressed natural gas commuter buses in our transit program, with an additional 7 currently in procurement. The ultimate goal is to replace the remaining 20 buses in the fleet with compressed natural gas engines. This not only reduces carbon emissions, but also results in monetary savings to the county. Compressed natural gas is average 98 cents per gallon, and as we all know, this is for the last 10 years, whereas unleaded and diesel fuels average between $2.50 and $4 a gallon. Besides our work with our rural municipalities in stormwater and transportation initiatives, we also are assisting them in assessing vehicles that they critically need, but would otherwise not be able to purchase on their own. To date, the department has been able to transfer 34 vehicles at a minimal cost to various rural areas of El Paso. And I keep insisting it's the holistic approach of our community that's going to make us successful. The county's fleet department was also successful in being awarded several grants totaling a little over $532,000 in order to purchase new vehicles. All are currently in use, providing security and protection to our community. Thank you to Hopeton Staple, our fleet manager, and his team for leading the charge on this. This next one, I'm not sure everybody knows how it works, but we are obviously a huge part to this. Our domestic relations office, with Brian Stanley as our domestic relations director, is making strides of their own for those they serve. This year, the department set a new record in child support enforcement, collecting $17 million that went back into the homes of families in El Paso. The department was able to collect over $500,000 in fees that were previously uncollected. It is amazing how the daily demanding work of our county employees is able to directly impact the lives of the children and families in our beloved community. Thus, their efforts have a direct impact on economic development initiatives. One of the things that I've been really stressing is that we take care of health and homeless and all these other matters. That is a huge impact on our economic development, because if we could keep someone from entering our emergencies or being in hospitals, that we could be forthcoming from the very beginning, then obviously we are able to save a lot of money at each one of our facilities, but more importantly, get people to be more productive and be contributors to our community. Without a doubt, this is very important to me because I felt they might have been overlooked. Without a doubt, the Office of the Medical Examiner had to have been one of the most challenged of all our county departments immediately following the attack on our community on August the 3rd. But through the tragedy, and I know firsthand, being there at the hospital from day one and just looking at everything that was happening and being part of that, which was, I guess, some things you'll never stop thinking or seeing. But they navigated every painful step and came through like a light in the darkness. Our medical examiner personnel present, would you please stand? Dr. Rascon, please include your team, if you could stand. Thank you, Dr. Rascon, and the rest of your team. I know some of them were not able to make it because as a lot of us are working. The department continues to be fully accredited with the National Association of Medical Examiners. This accreditation comes with a quote, an endorsement by name that the office provides an adequate environment in which a forensic pathologist may practice the profession and provides reasonable assurance that the system will serve its jurisdiction. We believe and think you would all agree this department is the epitome of what this accreditation exemplifies. Very dear to me, UMC and the Children's Hospital. I was born there was 9 of us, and 8 of us were born with a midwife 150 yards away from the emergency, which tells you something about R.E. Thomason and how far we've gone. When you're having a midwife so close to a hospital, that sort of gives you the impression of where we were and where we are today. When all is said and done, we cannot forget the valiant efforts of our community hospitals as they fought to save the lives of every victim coming through their doors that day. The dedicated medical staff worked tirelessly to minimize the tragic and senseless loss of life that day, and to this day, as you all know, not all victims have been released. True to our public hospitals partnership spirit, they quickly communicated and worked with the other hospitals to ensure the best medical attention to the victims, as well as continuing their routine medical obligations to our entire community. People don't realize when all of that was happening, they're always busy. And on top of that, they continued. But really, this is a story of UMC every single day. Partnering with Texas Tech and the Children's Hospital, UMC sponsors at a variety of thoughtful community events. Everything the hospital does, I can tell you, is done with purpose and is aligned with the priorities of the Commissioner's Court. Primarily, and very important to us, as I've talked about the county, ensuring greater access to health care regardless of where you live in the county, and building a culture of health and wellness for our families to enjoy. We are well on our way of becoming a medical hub for 3 states, 2 nations, and 1 region. Medical careers is one of the key Borderplex Workforce Solutions business clusters. My heartfelt thanks to Joyce Wilson and Leila Melendez, whose leadership has kept us and has taken us to the top of the Texas Workforce Solution Organization. Joyce and Leila, thank you very much. This year, UTEP honored UMC with a Golden Impact Award, demonstrating the strong partnership between the 2 entities. UTEP has turned out, as you know, many of UMC's and the Children's Hospital medical staff on impactful education programs, safeguards that the hospital maintains a highly qualified workforce. The hospital has broken ground on 2 new emergency departments. This is really a breakthrough of having clinics with emergency departments. They're located in the East and Northeast clinics, getting us closer to our goal of greater healthcare access for our constituents. This year, UMC has seen a number of new and cutting-edge procedures come to fruition. The Endoscopy Center performed 1 such procedure earlier this year, being only the 2nd successfully performed in the entire state. It allows patients suffering from cancer in their digestive systems where blockage makes it difficult for these patients to eat. So you can imagine that, a procedure that can deliver that kind of relief to someone who already must endure difficult treatments. And it's being done not at the Mayo Clinic, not at some prestigious clinic somewhere else, but here in our own community. UMC welcomes Doctors Zainul and Moeen Abdin. Believe this, a father and son team, which I've met, of cardiac specialists who co-founded and operate the new state-of-the-art Heart Rhythm Clinic, the most advanced in El Paso, which will assist in the management of heart rhythm disorders. I thought playing golf with your son was pretty cool. Imagine being a cardiologist with your dad. Another new addition to the UMC's Children's Hospital family, and also met incredible man, Dr. Jimenez. Dr. Jimenez holds double certifications in pediatric and adult neurosurgery, is internationally recognized for the development of the endoscopic assisted craniotomy, and his honors and accolades are wide-ranging and impressive. A big thanks to you and all these respected medical professionals for their willingness to bring their talents and expertise to El Paso. We are extremely honored to have people that are world-renowned, that could be anywhere in the country. Same thing with Dr. Shidari, same thing with these incredible doctors, that they choose to come to our community, and they choose to come to our community. Why? Because of the people like yourselves that welcome them, that embrace them, and that is our secret. And we're also beyond fortunate to have UMC CEO Jacob Cintron and Children's Hospital CEO Cindy Stout and their superheroes that make up their respective teams. They give them a really warm welcome here. I know that Mr. Cintron, very private man, but he's like a friend to me. He lost his mom during the weekend, and so my heartfelt condolences to him and his family. Veterans Assistance, we're almost there, people. As a Gold Star family member, I am so honored to be part of an organization that embraces our community's veterans and values not only their service to our country, which we really praise, but to our community. My office, with the help of the County Veterans Advisory Board, various veteran organizations, and county staff, designed and unveiled the Veterans Wall of Honor located on the 3rd floor of the county courthouse. Please visit that. It was so well done, and it captured and tried to bring them together, not by associations, not by different departments, but through conflicts. And that, I think, was able to bring, I have some incredible people here in the audience that participated and were there helping us to do that. So please visit 3rd floor on the county courthouse. As part of this project, I wanted to have the opportunity to honor individual veterans that exemplify the meaning of service and are tireless advocates for this community. Nominations from 19 veterans organizations were submitted to the County Veterans Advisory Board earlier this summer. Our very first Veteran of the Year was chosen and recognized at our Commissioner's Court. Really, I am honored and privileged to introduce to you Sergeant Major Robert D. Way and his lovely wife. Could you please stand? A great first recipient. There's a handout that'll show how extensive of everything that he's done. So we wanted to focus not only on everything he did while he was on service, but what he did afterwards in his community, and he obviously deserves it, beyond deserves it. Further, our Veterans Assistance Office has received a financial assistance grant through the Texas Veterans Commission for $300,000, another grant in which the county has awarded the maximum amount. You will hear the maximum amount of most of our grants thanks to our resourceful grant department. This grant aims to help veterans, active duty dependents, and surviving spouses who are going through a financial crisis and experiencing difficulties with housing or utility costs. We are also very proud to have this happen in our community, of commencing a Veterans Needs Assessment for the county. The City of El Paso has also contributed toward the funding of this program. This assessment is the first of its kind in its community, with the ultimate goal to identify the top priorities for veterans in our community and will chart a path to providing vital and reliable services to address their needs. I have said that for years we've tried to guess and we've tried to think about what they might need. By having this particular assessment, they'll be telling us what they need. So it's, welcoming our veterans is so important. I've got something that's been a passion of mine from the very beginning when I begin to see the veterans, the kinds of veterans like Isaac Camacho, one of the first POWs from Vietnam. It just goes on and on, the list of people that we have. The colonels that have decided to stay in our community it's just incredible. So what I'm leading to is that I really feel that we can be the veterans capital of the United States. And I need your help and your encouragement to make that happen. When we have all the things that we do for our community, the incredible relationship that we have with Fort Bliss, there shouldn't be any other place. I've talked to a lot of people about our community and how we welcome and how we treat our veterans. This has got to be the place, and I hope you help me and our commissioners be able to do that. So one of the things I'm always asked to say is, welcome home, veterans. Finally, as I said earlier, I would love to be here all day. So many people, so incredible. Thank you for your patience. When we have to honor so many people and being able to talk about and recognize the people we work for is such an important part of what we do. El Paso continues to progress towards financial stability, is a force in a growing economy, is an effective and professionally run organization, is vibrant, dynamic, diverse, and most important, inclusive. I'm only able to stand here today sharing the incredible progress and the story of the county government is making because of the dedicated employees who join us every day in making our vision for this community a reality. They are the reason for our success. The Commissioners Court cannot adequately express our gratitude for the hard work they exhibit every single day. They are a group of 3,000 dedicated county employees, which includes the sheriff's deputies and detention officers, committing themselves to this organization for a happier, healthier, and resilient community. Your Commissioners Court, with these amazing employees as its backbone, will continue its work to accomplish our collective goals and with our combined vision, working together for the common good and profound love of this community. We will never lose sight of the reason why, El Paso. It's because of you, and it'll always be because of you as why we do what we do. We could have been defined by our tragedy, and that was very, very close to us, but we could have been defined by that. But instead, we have been defined across the world, and I kid you not, across the world, people have reached out, and we've been defined not by the tragedy, but by our resilience and our generosity as a community. I would like to thank all of you for being part of our journey and for confirming what we've known all along, that we are truly, undeniably El Paso strong. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. On behalf of the El Paso Chamber, staff, and Board of Directors, we appreciate your attendance. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you November 1st at the El Paso Chamber Gala. Thanks again.